that could not attend. If you have any questions, go ahead and add them to the video chat area or use the awesome Teams feature and raise your hand, and I'll try and keep an eye on that so that I can answer questions as we go. But I'm also going to leave time at the end to try and answer your questions as well. So let me get everything, my notes up here so I don't miss things. I'm going to be trying to hop around. I got a couple different devices here on my desk. I'm going to primarily be on my Mac because a lot of the things that we're going to talk about, the image things, are going to be pretty much the same whether you're on a Windows device or a Mac, so it's not going to matter that much. Although there are a couple things that I'm going to jump over to my PC for and share my screen on that just so you can see what that looks like. So we're going to start out with some basics here and just kind of an overview, some objectives here. When it comes to image use today, I'm not going to get very technical. I want you to kind of run wild in terms of, okay, I can use memes, I can use emojis, but how could I use them? And maybe give you some ideas, but for the most part, you're going to come up with a lot of different ideas on how you can apply them to your day-to-day operations. The biggest thing with these images is to have fun. As far as my perspective is, I throw emojis in just to kind of lighten things up, maybe to kind of further paint a picture with it, whether it be an email, whether it be a Teams message, whether it be a Canvas course. Adding these items are quick and easy, and that's really the root of this too, is showing you how easy it is to add images, showing you how easy it is to create a quick GIF or a video for that matter. So we're going to start with images. I'm going to show you some different tools, and like I said, the main thing is to have fun. Understand that there's differences between different image types. For example, on that second bullet, you see know the difference between a PNG, a JPEG, GIF, things like that. On the right side of your screen, you see a GIF. A PNG. And a PNG doesn't have that blocky background, and it fits so much better into space like Canvas and into space like a PowerPoint presentation that you see right here, or even a Word file or an email, not having a background like that. And you can see that that image kind of takes on the characteristic of what it is too. That other image on the left is just not as happy having that bulky background. And it's very easy for you to choose when you're creating an image. I'm going to show you some tools for making sure that you save it as a PNG versus a JPG. And we can see that the change in scenery that happens when we change that image type within a PowerPoint. And like I said, you're adding images not only to inform, but also to decorate. And also you can use it, and I'll show you some examples of how you can divide it up. Not divide your class or divide your audience, but to actually divide content using images on a page. And so that's what we're going to cover today. So the first thing I want to get into is screen grabs. Screen grabs is probably the easiest thing that you can do, but if you don't know how to do them on your device, it really can be difficult. I use screen grabs probably like at least a dozen times a day on average, no lie. I'm constantly grabbing items and throwing it into a chat or throwing it into an email or throwing it into a Canvas page. And it's very important that you know how to do this. So if you have a Mac device, you can easily copy something to the keyboard or the clipboard by holding down Command Shift 4, okay? And what that will do is it will take it and it will make it so you can paste it into something. So, for example, if I wanted to check this out right here. If I wanted to take this item that Michelle shared, now this item that you're seeing here is a real live example. It's an Excel spreadsheet, okay? And Michelle has been working with something called OER, which is Open Education Resources, and saving her students a ton of money. And I want to brag about Michelle, but I don't want to send this whole file in an email. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and start a new email. I'll bring it over here. I'll resize it quick so that it doesn't take up my full screen so you can see it. And I actually want to, instead of dragging and dropping this whole file in here as an attachment, I want people just to see it right away. So I go Command Shift 4. And that allows me to just quickly grab a screen grab and I paste it right there into my email. Now, nobody has to open anything. Check out the money Michelle has saved our students. All right. And just like that, I can send that email very quickly. So that's on a Mac device. But what if you are on a Windows device? How in the world do you do it on a Windows device? And I'm working on sharing my screen as I talk right now, and hopefully you can all see this screen now, and you can. That's great. And so now I'm over here, and do I have keyboard options? The answer is yes. On a Windows device, and I'm guessing that's most of you, To get the snippet tool up, you can go to the search bar down here and you can search for it, or you can simply add in or keyboard in a shortcut. And to do that, there's a Windows key on your keyboard, there's a Shift key and an S. And if you do all three of those at the same time, that's going to bring up your snippet tool on your Windows device. Look at that. And the default option is simply to drag and drop like that. Okay, boom. And just like that, we have created a snippet, and we can go and we can take that just like we did on the Mac device, and we can paste it into an email. We could take it and paste it into a Teams conversation, wherever we want to go. Now, here's what I like about the Windows option for this. So if I go over here, and where is my image that I had pulled up? Come on, there it is. So I have a cell here, okay? And you can see that that cell's a square, and I could take the whole thing. Don't want that ad there. But I want to take it and just have just this cutout here. Well, on Windows, it allows me an option to cut around all of these items. So if I go Windows logo Shift S again, it'll bring up my snippet tool. There we go. And you can see that there's a freeform option. Boom. And now I can just take that and I can draw, and this is not the Windows problem. I'm trying to do it on the trackpad here, but if I had a mouse, it would work a little bit better. But you can see, I'm doing this hastily, that it will actually freeform right around that image. And just like that, I have copied that image to my clipboard, and I can paste that image or save that image anywhere I want. So maybe I'm making maybe I'm making a quiz or something like that in Canvas, or maybe I just want to share that to a PowerPoint presentation or share it out to a department that I'm working with. Makes it very easy for me to do. Maybe I wanted to share this with my students, but I didn't want to include all the different items that it's pointing to. I could quickly cut those items out as well. Obviously, you got to pay attention to copyright and be careful with those things, but we're not going to get into that. We'll save that for another session for another day. But the snippet tool, both on a Mac and a Windows device, makes it very easy for you to go through, whether it be something on your desktop, something in an Excel file, Word document, website, and just grab those images and take them and share them whether it be with your students or faculty or anybody that you are working with or for. All right, let me hop back to my other device and share my screen over here. There we go. So those are screen grabs, the most basic thing that you can do. Now we're going to get into the fun zone, okay, and have some fun here. Emojis, Bitmojis, and memes. So if you're not sure what these three different items are, emojis are just a small digital image or icon used to express an idea or emotion. So basically, you're probably more used to seeing emojis on a mobile device and your Emoji Keyboard on your mobile device, whether you have an Android or an iOS device. The cool thing is emojis are not just limited to a mobile device. Emojis are, you can use emojis on a Mac computer, you can use it on a PC, and I'm going to show you how, and then we'll jump back and talk about Bitmojis and memes. So if I pop out of here, and we are going to head on over, let's do this in Teams. Okay, so I'm going to go down here to my English team. And this is just a sample team. This isn't actually a real team. I want to start a new conversation. It's very easy for me to access on my Mac, my Emoji Keyboard, simply by going Control, Command, and Shift. And just like that, it will pop up my Emoji Keyboard. It will show me the different emojis that I've recently or frequently used, and then it will allow me to go through and find all the different emojis. Now, the cool thing about an emoji, when I'm having an emoji brain fart or emoji block, all I have to do is type in, a keyword, and that's going to allow me to add that just like that. If you're using a Windows device, it's very easy for you to get your Emoji Keyboard up as well. It's simply the Windows key and the period. So even easier if you're a Windows user to get that Emoji Keyboard up. Can you overuse emojis? Yeah, you can, I'm sure. But if you add them just kind of for a little flair here and there, I know that several instructors that I've spoke to and several users I spoke to have actually used emojis in their team name and also within their channels. You can see that in faculty sharing, I shared a little bit about how to get to the Emoji Keyboard. I've seen plenty of instructors use them within their Canvas course for their modules, including myself. So you can see that it's easy to add emojis to different items there as well. So just to recap, Control Command Shift on a Mac device, and Windows button and period to bring up that emoji keyboard on a PC. If you can't get that to work for some reason, you can always go to Edit in the menu bar, and if you go down to the very bottom there, you'll see emojis and symbols. And I'm not quite sure where that is in Chrome, but I believe that if you have other items open, other applications like Outlook and things like that, you can get to it on a PC as well. Okay. From time to time, my shortcut doesn't work for whatever reason. I have to go here, and that'll open up my emoji keyboard as well. Now let's talk about Bitmoji. So what is Bitmoji? Bitmoji is like taking an emoji and making it yourself. So over to the right-hand side here on my PowerPoint, you're going to see the "It's me." That's supposed to somewhat look like me. I know that for those of you that have seen Bitmojis before, you've seen some people and like, wow, that they did a really good job with their Bitmoji. It looks exactly like them. I tried hard. Okay, I might have to go back and revisit that. But the bottom line is basically you can make yourself your own personal emoji. Now, the best way for you to do this is to add it as a Chrome extension. And so to do that, if you're in Google Chrome, you can see up here, I have added the Chrome extension for it. And to do that, if you don't have that there, you can simply go to Chrome and menu. And I believe if you go to your settings, you will find your extensions if you search right from there and give you the option to add it. There's also a button, close that. There's also a button right here on your extension or on your toolbar up top that has extensions, and you can pin them and add them and manage them from there as well. So that's probably the easier route for you to take. But regardless, once you add the Bitmoji extension and you create an account, when you create an account, it's going to walk you through the steps of picking your jawline and picking your hair color and your eye color and your eye shape and all those different things. But once you do that, you will now have your Bitmoji ready to go. Do not be overwhelmed by the Bitmoji. All right. If you take anything away from the sessions, do not be overwhelmed by the Bitmoji, because it's going to give you a lot of options here. And you're like, how in the world do I get all these? These are awesome. Very easy. All you really have to do is take them and drag them to your desktop. That's as easy as it gets. If that's not working for you, I can just right click on it and I can save that image as well. Taking Bitmoji even further is you can pretty much add any text that you want to your Bitmoji. So I could say something like Happy Wednesday, and just like that, we have all these Happy Wednesday Bitmojis that show up and are generated. So I could take this, I can save that image, and it'll save. Can't see it, but actually on my other screen over here, it tried to save it to my file manager. But if I wanted to add it to like a PowerPoint, for example, giving away my secrets here, I could take that Bitmoji, move Chrome over to this window. There we go. I could take that Bitmoji. We'll get back to Happy Wednesday, so stay in that mood. There we go. And I'm not going to do one of me sitting on the toilet. You got to be careful with these Bitmojis because sometimes they're not most appropriate for certain situations. So I will take this and I'll copy it. And I can take it right on over to PowerPoint and just paste it right into my PowerPoint. It's really simple, okay? Maybe you want to liven up your emails a little bit. So I'm going to generate a new email here. And you can see I could start off my email. And obviously, I want to paste it in there. And I want to resize that so it's not too large. And I could start typing out my email. So like I said from the start, these images are just going to liven things up a little bit. They're going to help to paint a picture. You can have a lot of fun with them. Like I said, with Bitmoji, be a little bit careful because you might come across some where your character has a beer in hand and saying it's lit or something like that. Obviously, in those cases, you wouldn't want to share that to like your Canvas course or something like that, because not all Bitmojis are professional. Okay, as you can see, some of them are a little bit suggestive too. So you've been warned about things. See? So like there you go. But they do a good job to express sometimes how you're thinking and how you're feeling. All right, moving along. The other item associated with images is memes. So if you haven't seen or know what a meme is, if I just back this up a little bit, a meme is a type of an idea, behavior, or style that is spread via the internet, often through social media, and especially for humorous purposes. So there's the official definition of it. And you've seen those before shared on Facebook and social media and things like that. But how in the world do you create your own? Very easily. On the resources page in Canvas that I shared in the chat, there is a way for you to, there's some links to different meme generators. And I have them all pulled up here as tabs, but they're very simple to create if you go to one of these sites. So here's a lot of the different popular ones. And all you have to do to get one of these is to go and find, let's go ahead and find, oh, here's a popular one here. And it creates the add-in items right here. How are we doing today? And you add some bottom text. Now that's very negative, but just like that, we click on make the meme, and now we've created a meme. All right. And you can take these memes and you can add them to your team, just like you would any other image that you'd add to your team. So when you're ready to have this meme, all you have to do is right click on it and you can save that image. Okay. And that's then going to save your image, whether you save it to your downloads, your desktop, wherever it is that you choose to save it. And then you can take it and share it to your Canvas course. You can include it in email. And you can see that that literally took me like, 10 seconds once I thought of the hardest part is thinking about what you want to include on your meme. Okay, so that's emojis, that's GIFs, or excuse me, that's emojis, that's Bitmojis, and that's memes. Okay, lots of different terminology here. And like I said, there's other meme creators as well, so that you can go through, depending on which type of meme generator that you like the most, you can go through and choose. Now, obviously, these have a lot of different advertisements along with it, so bear with that. And I'm sure that there's other meme generators that you may have used that are out there. I'm just giving you 3 common ones that are available. All righty.
Kevin, can you tell me again how to find the extension for Bitmoji?
Absolutely.
On Chrome?
Yeah.
I second that because it didn't come up when I searched it.
Yeah, I don't.
So if you go to manage extensions, it should show up for you in the search bar. If it doesn't,
only shows up there if you've already downloaded it. You have it. That's why it's there. I had to open a new window and search for the Chrome store and then go and get it.
Yeah, if it doesn't, and like Serena said, if you just do a Google search for it and go to Bitmoji, that'll help you find it as well.
I went to the App Store for it on my Mac, and it said it was only available for phones.
Yeah, yeah. If you go Bitmoji Chrome extension.
Okay.
I think that this right here, there you go.
Yeah, that's the one that came up, but Bitmoji Chrome extension.
Yeah, I just added it in the chat.
Thank you.
Good question. Thanks for asking. Sorry for the confusion on that one.
And actually, Kevin, from the extension screen right there, if you click the menu bar in the upper left-hand corner, the hamburger menu bar, that should give you, if you look at the bottom, it says Open Chrome Web Store, and you can search. There you go. There.
This is perfect. Thank you for contributing. I pay people well to sit in on these meetings and fill in where I leave things out.
Hey, can I throw something in on the emojis?
Yeah, absolutely. So
one of the things that I hate about Canvas is how messy the file system is. And I like to keep, group things, and it's difficult to move files in. So if I have pages that are just specific student information pages, or pages that are assignment pages or discussions, if I learn that I can stick a little emoji right before the title, so I go and I find my emoji and I copy the emoji, I put that right in front of the title of the web page or the assignment, and then they all group up automatically. So when I go into my files, they're all together. It's really cool.
That's a great add-on right there, Elizabeth. And that leads me to another thing that I almost forgot to say, is actually 2 things. And the first one is Be careful adding emojis though to quizzes, because if you plan to use Lockdown Browser does not like emojis in your quiz titles. Okay. The second thing is I actually use emojis in emails quite a bit, and sometimes I'll use the same emojis for certain emails so that when I search for those emails, all I do is search for them by the emoji in my Outlook. So I have found that to be very useful. For example, I use the green and yellow shield looking emoji on all new employee emails that I send out. So if I need to find those, I just in the search type in that emoji in my search field in Outlook, and that brings up all those emails that I've sent. So it makes it very easy for me to search for those things. All right. Did I see any questions in the chat? Don has a meme. Okay. All right. Look at that. Some good contributions in the chat if you didn't see that from Elizabeth and Don. Moving along, we're going to get a little bit more in depth. We're going to talk about some software here. Oh, there's my meme that I added. I didn't create this one. So the first one is Snagit. Now, Snagit is something that I talked about doing screen grabs. A lot of times when I do screen grabs, I bring those screen grabs right into Snagit so that I can add things like boxes around or numbers and different things like that. Snagit is a program that we have available to all employees. We have a site license for it. If you are interested in taking your images and adding items like that to your images, and I'll show you here in a second how easy it is for you to use Snagit. I'm happy to share the link. In fact, in the resources page, I've included a link to it. You just got to let me know, and I'll get you the software key for you to install it. It works on a Mac device and a Windows device. So if you're interested in using Snagit, I actually have it open here. There we go. So all I did, and I did this ahead of time, was I took a screen grab of actually a new-ish feature in Teams. And let me make this a little larger for you. So if you didn't know, in Teams, if you hold your mouse over the back button up here, it'll actually show you your history, people that you had a chat with, different teams that you visited. But I just took that as a screenshot, and I brought it here into Snagit. And it's very easy for me to take a shape, and I have these all pre-created, and I can say, hey, this is what's going to pop up after you click on one of these buttons. And if I wanted to provide some steps, I just go over here and click on these numbers. And for some reason, mine always starts at 2. And I can just take that and move that there. Take that and move that there. And just like that, I can take this image that I've just generated, okay, and I can send this out to whoever I need to. I can easily post it to Canvas. I can post it to Teams. I can bring it into an email and share it via an email. And there's a lot of other features with Snagit too, but that's really the most simplest version and way for me to express for you how easy it is for you to adapt images. Another couple other cool features associated with Snagit is the ability for you to create GIFs. So you can see up here, I have in my toolbar, I actually have the S for Snagit. But if you're running Snagit on a Windows device, you can see it in your taskbar down at the bottom as well. Makes it very easy for you to get to. And I just click on the S here, and you can see the different items that I can create. So for this one, I'm going to do a video. And you can see that if I wanted to show you these steps, and I actually want to back out of this. Hold on. I don't want to do this yet. If I want to go to Canvas and I want to go to, there we go. So maybe I want to show somebody how to do something in Canvas Studio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Snagit. I'm going to choose video, and I can select my window. This is good. And now I'm ready to record. So I let it record. Once it starts, here we go, 3, 2, 1, and I say hop on into this, and then you just go to your insights, and that's how you view who's viewed the video. And that will take it over to Snagit, and just like that, I have my video recorded. Now I want to cut off the first little bit. Oops, went the wrong way. I want to cut off that first little bit. There we go. Get rid of that. And now I have my video ready to send out to people. Now, this is the simplest form of video right here, is a GIF. Okay, there's not going to be any sound. I'm not going to be able to add any items to it, but I'm just going to go over here Give me my mouse back. Where's my mouse? You can probably see it, but I can't. There we go. You see GIF, and I can download this as a GIF. And just like that, I can share this quick file right here of me doing something with a student, with a faculty member, with a staff member, just showing them how to do things. It's a very small file for a video file, but Snagit allows us to quickly and easily create a GIF. Let's see, another cool tool in Snagit is it will allow us to create panoramic images. So have you ever had it where you have an image that's just like way too tall, meaning you like have to scroll down your page to take a screen grab of it? Well, Snagit has a solution for that. And let me see if I can find it. I had a web page open that had an example of that in it, and I don't know if I still have that open or not. But regardless, if I wanted to take a screen grab of this whole page right here, I just click on that Snagit icon again, and I choose image. And you can see for the selection, I don't expect you to remember this, but I chose panoramic. And all I have to do is select my region. And when I click start, I can actually scroll down the page and it will take an image of that entire page. So my example that I had pulled up in preparation for this session was an infographic that was super tall and narrow, like the examples that you see here. But obviously I can't find that right now. But this is good enough in that it shows you, I just took a really tall screenshot, one that I had to actually scroll down the page on. And normally, I couldn't do that if I was just doing a normal snippet tool. But using Snagit, I can capture that entire image very easily. So that is Snagit right there. And if you're interested in snagging Snagit, let me know and I can help you get that. Another cool tool for images is Adobe Spark. If you're not aware of Adobe Spark, it's really taking your images to the next level. Maybe you've used something similar, Canva, not Canvas, but Canva. It's very similar to that, but we have a license for Adobe Spark. So just going to show you this one quickly. All you have to do is go to spark.adobe.com and you can use your MCC sign in to get to it, to log into it, excuse me. But if we go to the home page area, you can see that there's so many different types of images that you can create. Generally speaking, I just do a start from scratch one, but you can see there's a lot of different templates that you can choose from. So if you scroll down, there's all these different templates. Like I said, I'm gonna keep it simple now. I'll let you explore on your own, but I'm gonna grab this one right here. I like that. And I'm gonna choose the template and it's gonna load for a second. And now I'm gonna have the option to make it mine. So maybe I wanted to create like a little banner image for my Canvas course. So you might have noticed in my Canvas course, I do a lot of these items right here. This one actually, it's like a template that I use in Photoshop. But you can use Adobe Spark for something like this as well. So if I use a template, I can quickly change this to like chapter 1. Oh, I don't want to space down. There we go. And so that's there. I can give it the course name or maybe the unit name, but we'll just go ahead and call it biology. Keep hitting enter. And obviously roller skating doesn't really play well with this. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that image. And my text didn't actually go away. It's just a white background now. And I have an image on my desktop that I already pre-saved. Let's see if I can find it. There it is. And I bring that image into the background. Boom, just like that. And you can't see the whole thing. And you're like, well, I can't see chapter 1 very well. Well, we can take that and we can add like a shadow to it. The shadow is white, so we can change the shadow to black so it stands out a little bit better. We can do this. Oh, we started using Bitmoji. So since this is the first chapter, we can say welcome. And we can take that Bitmoji and save that Bitmoji. And we'll save it to our desktop. We'll pop back to Adobe Spark. Put Adobe Spark, move to this window. There it is. And we'll upload that photo I just saved. Check this out. We don't want the cactus. We want the welcome. And just like that, it's been added to our image. Boom, there we go. Oh, we have premium rollerblades here. What do we want to stay instead? Oh, I got an idea. Spring 21. I hit enter again. And just like that, I can't read that. Let's make it a little bigger. Move this down here. And we are done. Let's download it. We'll do a PNG, even though it's a square or rectangular image to begin with. And we'll cruise on over to Canvas. Where's that page I had open? There we go. And we will add, I think this is it. There it is. So just like that, in like what, a minute or two. Obviously, I kind of had this like pre-worked out, so I cheated a little bit. But once you get it going, you know, you can very easily add these banner images to your Canvas course to really welcome your students in, enhance your course pages, and you can add this in Canvas to any instance of the rich content editor. If you're not somebody that uses Canvas, that's okay. You can add it to a team. So I have a team here. Where's that sample team? There's English right there. And maybe I want to do, we'll get rid of that world, but instead of doing a conversation, I want to post an announcement. If you haven't posted an announcement before in a team, it allows you to put a headline on it. And if I pop back to Adobe and pop back to the home page, you can see that I already created this, and I'll open it up so you can see it. But I already created this image here for an announcement for an April meeting that we have. So I'll go ahead and download that. We'll download it as a PNG. We'll go transparent. And we'll pop back over to Teams. And I want an image here, upload an image. Drop that there. And now I've just added, and I can start talking about, you know, our meeting that we have coming up, maybe include the agenda, things like that. And I can post that to the team with an image. Very easy for you to do. The good news is when you start having reoccurring meetings, maybe you want to change this obviously to May, change this around a little bit, you can actually duplicate this. If you go to the home page, it allows you to duplicate your different items right from here. So you don't have to totally start from scratch if you got a good thing going. All right, we're running short on time, so I want to breeze along here. I mentioned Canva. It's very similar to Adobe, what you just saw in Adobe Spark. So if you're already using Canva, that's fine. You can pay to subscribe and get premium things. The same can be said with Adobe. There's some premium items in there as well. They have a little yellow icon on them. I meant to point that out when we were in there, but just a heads up on that. All right, video. I'm not going to spend as much time on video just because it's a little bit more complicated to use, but I do want to point out a few things. Just like with images, have some fun with it. Focus on being short. I know that when you think of video, especially when you're in your classroom, you're like, I need to record my lecture. Let's roll out a 10-minute video. I know that when I am about to watch a YouTube video or any video for that matter, the first thing that I check after I see the title is how long is this video? Okay. You probably do the same. Your students do the same. So please keep that in mind. If you can chunk up your video, and I know that's a buzzword, but you really are going to be better off if you can have shorter video. A 2-minute video 5 times is going to be much more effective than a 10-minute video 1 time. All right. And it's going to be easier for you to create your videos too if you're only making a 2-minute video. So we have some tools for you to create video as well. Your mobile device is a great tool for creating video. And you can access your Canvas Studio with that if you're an instructor. You can access Stream with that. You can save it to your OneDrive. There's lots of options for your mobile device when it comes to video. If you are recording using sound, it's not a bad idea to get you. I just disconnected my mic when I went to lift this up, so if you can't hear me, let me know. But it's not a bad idea to get an external mic. The good news is your computer mic will hopefully pop in on the background if you disconnect it during an overview session. But make sure your sound is good, because if you can have the best video in the world, but if you don't have sound, obviously it defeats the purpose if you're intending to have sound. And another thing is if you're in a situation where students are in your class or whatever, which is most classes obviously, but if you're an instructor, have your students create video and encourage them, instead of using vertical video, to use horizontal video. Okay, it just plays better in most cases, except for like Flipgrid, Snapchat, and those things. And so what do you have available to you for video? The first thing is Camtasia. Now, Camtasia is very similar to Snagit in that it's from TechSmith, which creates Snagit and Camtasia. But Camtasia gives you more robust video. It allows you to do more edits. So if you really want to get into video, Camtasia is a good spot to get in. There's an Adobe offering as well, but I don't have time to get into that right now. But just if you don't like Camtasia, there are other options for you. And Camtasia is cool because it also allows you to create GIFs. So I created a very basic GIF using Snagit, but you might have seen the course tile for the sample course for these EdTech Dialect sessions. I created it right here in Camtasia. And all it is a logo with some text that moves and some shapes that I generated from the annotation area. Okay, and I can take these items and create as many different layers as I want. As you can see here, I can take them and move them. I can add transitions. And then when I'm ready to export it, I can send it a lot of different places. I often choose a local file, but if you do that, you can choose a GIF, as you can see I did there. And what you see here on a Mac device looks exactly the same on your Windows device. So it doesn't matter what type of device you're using. If you want to use Camtasia, you're going to see what I'm seeing here or what you're seeing right here. My intention isn't to get into showing you the ins and outs of Camtasia right now. I am happy to run a follow-up session where we really do a deeper dive into how to use Camtasia. If you want to use it for screen recording, you can also turn on, there we go, the video here. So you can do screen, video, audio, or just audio as well. If you want to just record audio from here, you can see that I only have the mic on here. So lots of different options when it comes to Camtasia. Instructors, you also have Canvas Studio available to you, and a lot of you are pretty well versed in it, so I'm not going to spend time going into that, but I do want to show you, if you're not aware, a couple things within Canvas Studio. Come on, there we go. Whenever I switch out of PowerPoint, my mouse takes a while for it to show up for me. So that's why I'm going crazy moving my mouse, even though you can probably see it on your screen. So when you're recording a studio video, if you did not know, there's actually an editor. So you recorded your video, it's right here. And I actually let's see here. We can actually go, so this is once you're done recording a studio video. And if you click on edit, it brings up a whole ton of editing tools. So if you are used to recording your videos in studio, that's great, continue doing that, but just be aware that in the tools area, you can actually snip your video and take out different chunks where you might have screwed up or want to skip things, just to shorten things, to chunk things. You can insert different items like pauses. These overlays are cool. So you saw I use Snagit to put boxes and shapes and stuff. You can do the same right here using the editing area within Canvas Studio. So lots of different edits that you can make from here. If you weren't aware of that, I just want to make sure that you were. Let's see here. Other than that, Studio is pretty straightforward. One thing that I would like to see more of, and obviously it's not something like I'm requiring you to do, but just be aware that students can use Studio as well. And Studio also is applicable from the mobile device. So in the sidebar, and I'd share my screen here, but I'm already sharing that. I don't want to take the time to jump into it. In the sidebar in Canvas Studio or in the Canvas mobile app, there's actually a Studio area where students can view their studio videos, but also start recording their own right from their mobile device using their camera on their mobile device. So I highly encourage you to encourage your students to use Studio and create Studio and submit assignments using Studio as well. Speaking of submitting assignments using Studio, you can see I posted a Canvas assignment here. And if you create an assignment as a file upload assignment in Canvas, and this is a student view right here, students can go to the file upload area, as you can see here, like they normally see, but there's a tab for Studio. So they can actually very easily access all their studio videos that they have, same that they'd see right in here, but they can submit it as an assignment submission, and you can view those submissions right from the SpeedGrader if you're an instructor. So there's great application for you as the instructor, and now that you're well versed in that, and you're comfortable with that, up the game a little bit and encourage your students to create studio videos or do a studio assignment for your students using a mobile device, a webcam. There's lots of ways for them to access Studio. So That is pretty much all that I have as far as images and video. I know that there's a lot to unpack there, and there's a lot more that I could have done a nosedive into for this session. But at some point, I just have to cut it and give you and offer to follow up with items going forward. I wanted to get in embedding video and things like that, but I think I covered some of that stuff on the last session. It's very easy for you to embed studio videos, stream videos into Canvas, Teams, and things like that. And anything that pretty much anything that I covered here today can also be shared, not just within Canvas and an email, but also within Teams as well. So I know that was a lot. I am very happy to follow up with any of the other items. Let me check the chat here, but I do want to open it up for questions or anything like that. Josiah, I already created a meme. That's awesome. Yeah, man. Anytime, I'm always hiding behind the tree. I like to hide in the bushes, actually, Josiah. They do a better job of covering me up. And then, like in the halls and stuff like that, if I hear instructors talking, I'll pop out and just start talking about Canvas or Teams or things like that, or I'll send an email. So that's a very spot on meme right there. Elizabeth asked, does Camtasia do edits? Do you say a lot, Elizabeth?
It's really bad.
Yeah.
I go and I listen because I think like our research paper for students, the first draft is never great. The first video you do is never great. And at some point I'm gonna have to go in and edit them. I did see there's an editor you can actually pay money for, and I was gonna go run all my videos through them. But I didn't know if maybe we already have that in Camtasia.
I just leave it half the time. Going back and trying to edit those. Everybody's got their own word, right? I mean, like you can probably think of it right now, like, oh, I always say okay, or I always say you got it, things like that. I used to worry about those, like when I used to do recorded sessions. I'd try and go back and start cutting out okay, and it's just not worth my time. And then I even talk myself into thinking like, well, no one else notices it, right? Only me. One time when I was teaching high school, I actually had students jot down how many times I said a certain word, and then they reported to me at the end of class. So, students do catch on, but it's not a big deal. It's all in fun. Enjoy it, roll with it. We all have our words. Just understand that it's okay. Let's see, Don, notice an assignment submitted as a studio file is visible to all students. And an assignment submission is?
Yeah, I had a student actually take a video of her pages. She couldn't figure out how to scan a PDF, so she took a video of it and submitted that. And yes, all the students, it showed up in the common studio area for the class.
Really?
Yeah, it was surprising to me. But
okay, I'm gonna follow up on that and see if there's a way that we can avoid that.
Have a good afternoon.
I have an image related question. When students are submitting images to Canvas for an assignment or a quiz as part of an assignment, so it's not a file upload, but it's like a text box question where they can attach something. If they attach .heic files, which I think are iPhone photos, it doesn't open or display in the speed grader. Do you know of any solutions, workarounds, quick conversions for that?
Yeah, this is an old problem, and I forgot about it. And man, I would have thought it'd be corrected by now since those files.
But
I'm gonna.
I have to say, hey, here on your phone, do this, and then I can see it. Otherwise, it's extra clicks and extra steps. And
I'm glad you brought this up. I'm gonna follow up on that because I'm not even gonna try and answer that right now.
Awesome.
I said,
yeah, Tyler, what I do, I have an iPad. So when I'm in my speed grader on my desktop and I can't do it, then I'll skip over to my iPad and go into the speed grader there on that app, and I can see them that way.
I'm on my MacBook Air, and they're not opening for me in there. So
yeah, that's not right. But like you said, you're trying to avoid some clicks. I mean, I'd say to upload or scan the picture using OneDrive and then just share it into the class that way. But
it's more about students are submitting work, and I want to be able to give them feedback. And if it doesn't open in the speed grader, I have to do it all in text or video. I can't mark their actual image of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look into that.
Thank you.
No problem. All right. Does anybody else have, we have some time, you know, there's 7 minutes left. My 5-minute warning has not even gone off yet. So if you have any other questions, if there's anything that you'd like to know more about that, you know, maybe we could dive into Camtasia or anything like that, I'm happy to do that. These sessions are primarily to let you know things exist, give you a quick overview on them, and maybe you come up with some ideas for using them going forward. I hope that, I mean, I expect to see more Bitmoji use across campus after this session. So, and memes as well. Your students will love memes. If you start using more memes in your class, your students will love it. I can guarantee it. I don't know how I guarantee it, but they just will love it. They'll smile more. And you can even have your students create memes. You know, you send them one of those websites with the meme generators for an assignment or something like that, and tell them that they have to do a cell meme or equation meme or something like that. A little low stakes evaluation there, creating memes. So if there are any questions, you know how to get a hold of me. I appreciate everyone coming to this session. Session number 2. Next week, we don't have an EdTech Dialect session, but we do, Michelle, correct me if I'm wrong, we do have an OEC faculty sharing session.
Yes, we're going to talk about what happened with the form that you're running.
Yes, and so I remember now. So that form that was on the Canvas dashboard has generated a ton of awesome feedback. I've shared a few snippets with a couple different faculty members, but next Wednesday, we're going to share all of the feedback. And like, we're talking like some very uplifting items from students. If you have class coming up, encourage your students to get in there and fill that out. We would love to know anything like what has made a difference for them this term. It doesn't have to be just about technology. It could be an instructor that inspired them, a service that was available that really made the difference for them. Anything that they can think of that really brightened a day or a semester or a week or whatever that made a difference for them, we'll be sharing that out next Wednesday. So it's not going to be me talking next Wednesday, so you get a break from me. So make sure you mark your calendars if you haven't already. And this recording will be available, and I appreciate everyone attending. Have a great Wednesday. Chad, I didn't know you were here, Chad.
Yeah, I was late and multitasking, so I caught about a third of it, but I do want to go back and look at the recording. There's good stuff here.
Yeah, and you know, I didn't mark anyone absent or tardy last week, so I'm not going to start doing that this week. So you're off the hook.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Sweet. Thanks.
Yeah. Let me know if let me know if you have any questions. I appreciate you showing up.
See ya.
All right, later.